Hey John, now, now that I'm in the mood for making a video, do you have any ideas for the video that we're creating now? Do you have any video ideas or something?
I mean, I don't know, man. You're the YouTuber. You're the ones who's actually gonna make that.
Yeah, but I'm just asking you if you do have any ideas or something. Do you have any?
Yeah, man. How about making what's on my phone video?
Oh yeah, yeah. That would do great. Great idea, man.
Alright then.
We'll do that now. All right. Let's get to something. How's it going, guys? Susfar here and welcome to What's on My Phone video. Okay, so just to be clear, like this is one of the more introductory videos that a YouTuber would make to let the people know who he is and just do like an introduction to the channel itself. And so we're just doing this just to introduce ourselves, introduce me, introduce the channel as a whole to let people actually know me and trust me whatever I'm doing. Just a quick disclaimer too, like I have a recorder here, so whatever I'm gonna do with the phone, it actually affects the audio quality, so be aware of that. And with all of that being said though, let's go into the phone. So let's start with the lock screen. This is the lock screen that we have. It doesn't have shortcuts below like most phones would have. I also turned off my notification. I actually disabled the notifications on the lock screen just because I don't want to see that. I don't want that to ruin my view of my wallpaper. And do take note, if you want to know about this wallpaper, this certain wallpaper is captured at SMC Side's Seaside Tower, which I think is still not opening at the time you're watching this video. So fun fact, I don't really use the underscreen fingerprint scanner on this phone. I didn't mention it on my review, but I did kind of mention it on my unboxing video, which is on Facebook. So I'm just gonna link it down below, and everything that I'm gonna mention, I don't use the underscreen fingerprint scanner, but I use the facial recognition, and I set it to, it's not really that fast, but it's more security related, so it's not gonna be fooled by putting a picture of me like this distance and like just say it's unlocking. It unlocks right now, but when you show it like a photo of me or something, it doesn't really unlock because it lacks the depth. I think that's how it works. So unlocking the phone, this is our home screen. You might have been familiar with this if you watched the review. So we got the at a glance widget from Google. Really appreciate that Google putting it to non-pixel phones. Kind of love the move right there. We also have the Google search bar widget down here just because it's really annoying to click on the Google app. In the Google folder, I use this apps not sort of every day. It's not really that frequently, but it's just frequent, and just leave it at that. So Gmail, I don't really access that more often because I don't really receive any emails as that. So we have Maps on YouTube, and those are the important Google apps that I have, so I just leave it there. We also have Messenger for the group chat action, and Play Store. You know what Play Store does. So swiping on the second page, we have our second setup. I don't know if your camera could actually capture it in focus, but so we have this setup. It's actually a widget and then a huge space out here, which we'll talk about in this video, and then some few apps below. So the widget, I forgot what name it is, essentially shows you your Google Calendar schedule and things like that. So down that widget, there's a weird space out here, and if you've seen the review, then you know that's the space we put aside for Spotify's widget, which they removed because people wouldn't use them as much more often. And I kind of think that's a bummer. Like, you've seen it in the review, like I've used it to tap and to open Spotify just because I really hate to open the app, but Spotify removed it. I wish they could put it back in the next update, but whatever. I'm just crossing my hands, but I'm not holding my breath. That kind of situation, that's what we're into right now. Facebook for all the meme action. Twitter, we have that for the news, basketball news and YouTuber news, and Instagram for all the cooler photography shots and also memes. And also we have gallery for our photos. On the dock, we have phone, we have messages, and we have Google Chrome and camera. We use camera to capture like notes or something like that, and then just study on your phone and pull off the ultra wide camera. And that's the sort of the use of this camera, stock camera, which we'll get into the next camera app that we have on our app drawer. So we're done with our home screen right now. So we'll just swipe up, then we can access our apps. So going into the app screen, we're gonna start alphabetically because that's what we're having right now. Number one app here is backdrops. We use it for wallpaper action. So we use backdrops really seldomly, but this is one of the apps I'm just installing right after like getting the phone, because when you get the phone you don't have a lot of photos with it, and you just get a new wallpaper and you're done. That's it. Bixby, I don't really use that often. Essentially is, if you don't know Bixby is a mobile phone assistant made from Samsung, and I just don't use them typically because it's just bumsy. I'm using Google Assistant way more than Bixby, but that's just it. Calculator and two calendars. One is Google's and one is Samsung's. I don't typically use Samsung's calendar just because it sucks. I'm not disabling it just because it shows me the date. It's important. But we're gonna get to camera. We have two camera apps. One is camera, which we talked about before. But what is good on this Google Camera app is that it does really great photos using the 25 megapixel sensor. So it captures like 5760 times 4320. I think you could times that, and you could result in 25 million pixels, 35 megapixels. I'm gonna link it down below if you have an A50. But that's just it. So Chrome, we've talked about that. Clock, contacts, Datally. Datally, I use Datally for monitoring my data usage. It's gonna compress your data and doesn't really allow background data. So Drive, Google Drive, we have some online backups right there. Facebook, we've talked about that. Free Basics is an app that you can enjoy 10 MBs per day and 150 MBs per month. Galaxy Store is an app store for Galaxy apps. Gallery, we've talked about that. Game Launcher, it's a Samsung thing. Gboard, we have that as our default keyboard. Globe Postpaid, Globe Prepaid. Carriers, Globe Rewards, still a reward thing from my career. So Gmail, Google, Instagram, Keep Notes. Keep Notes is where I store my thoughts in making videos. So if I have like a random thought, like for example, there's a certain topic that I want to make a video, but I'm just gonna write it down. Also, we keep actual notes here, like from school. Lazada, that's the default online buying thing that we have here, not sponsored. Maps, Merriam-Webster, that's a dictionary. Messages, Messenger, Minecraft. We played Minecraft. I don't know. I'm not that guy who actually makes some videos about gaming. My emoji stickers, I know, I'm not using this, but it's pre-installed. It's a Samsung thing. My Files, NBA 2K19, we've played a lot of that. Office Mobile, OneDrive, those are Microsoft things pre-installed. Phone, Photos. Photos is actually good for color editing and things like that. Play games, Play Store, radio. I actually thought it's really good to have radio here on my phone. In 2019, like most phones would deprecate this feature for I don't know what else. RecForge 2 is our recording thing. It's for audio, so if you can hear real changes in my voice, then we're recording this right now, but that's the effect of the RecForge 2 on the phone. Reddit for all the meme action. Still, like PewDiePie submissions, it's fun. Samsung 321, it's an app that I find really just another bloatware app from Samsung. I'm not gonna uninstall it for fair reasons, just because they have like a directory of call numbers, so 911, ambulance, fire trucks, things like that. Samsung Health, I'm monitoring my steps and things like that, but we never really focused on that. That's why I'm skinny as hell. Samsung Max, Samsung Music, for the offline music that we have pre-Spotify, so things like that. Samsung Pass is a password keeper for everything. We have also settings, Share It. Yeah, so Share It is an app that's used to transfer files between Windows PCs, iOS devices, Android devices. Shazam, like I say, you went to a hotel and it's like there's this cool background music that's just playing. You just wanna hey, what's that song? So you want that, and then you want to open Shazam and just record it it in the background, connect it to mobile data. It just gives you the title of the song, who sang that song, and things like that. So Smart Shooter, pre-installed Snapseed. Snapseed is what we use to edit photos that we have here. More on that in a different video probably. Snaptube is what I use for downloading videos and offline music that's not on Spotify. I don't know if I'm gonna link it down below, and we're gonna link everything down below. Spotify is just really fun. This is like the best investment that I have for, I don't know. It has like a lot of music, like every music you can think of, it's 99% there. And also you could listen to podcasts, just about every podcast you've known, things like that. So TickTick, if mom gives me household chores, and then I wrote it on TickTick and actually wrote it a long list on Keep. So like, hey Brian, go to Keep Notes and do this stuff, and then I click on that, and then I tick it off, and then I go Keep and actually tick everything that's on the checklist. So it works, because if I'm not gonna write it down, there's no chance of it getting done really. So TickTick's really important. Twitter, we've mentioned that. Video for the offline videos. Waze, I kind of use Waze a little less often just because I'm not a driver. I'm much more of a commuter than anything, so I'd use Google Maps. But we use Waze when we traveled. Actually, we went there without any hassle or anything. And if you want to go to places with your car and you don't have to pay for a tourist guide, you could use Waze and search for tourist destinations and things like that. It's gonna be fun. XDA, it's a social media app, I could say, about developers and things like that. XDA is a really fun place. I'm highly recommending it. And right here on the last page, we have two obviously off apps here, YouTube and YouTube Studio. YouTube is just for fun. We watch a lot of videos. YouTube Studio is the YouTubers app for actually discovering analytics like watch time, minutes, the demographic, like where do actually people watch this, like things like that. You can find it here. So that's pretty much all there is to say about this. That's what's on my phone. There's not really a whole lot to talk about my phone, rather than, I don't know, this is my phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy A50, and this is what I use every day. It was May that we just purchased this phone, and you've seen the review. If you want to see the review, I'll link it down below. I'm gonna try to link everything down below, but that's not a promise. And until then, thanks a lot for watching, and as usual, talk to you guys later. Woo, it's really far. Alrighty.